Hi guys, it's Cindy with Pups and Crochet, and I am in my car, if you cannot tell. We're at the doctor's with Robert. And before I start this video, I just want to say thank you guys for all emailing me and stuff. I'm fine. I know a lot of people have been texting me and emailing me saying I look really tired, and I've just been going to the doctor, so I'm okay. Went for my right leg because I was having trouble with my balance and stuff, like I was walking on marbles. Found out I got plantar fasciitis. What I went to the doctor for. These doctors out here suck, just so you know. I went to urgent care. They said they can't help me. Sent me to immediate care. They can't help me. Said, well, why don't you just go to the emergency room? And I said, well, screw it. If I'm going to go to the emergency room, I'm going to go back to my doctor. So I drove the 2 hours, went to my doctor. He told me what was going on and then said, we're going to put you in a sleep boot because you're pointing your toes down. We need you to keep your feet up. So I said, okay. Put it in. One day I was feeling so much better already. But I have to go through 6 weeks of therapy. And then he goes, but let's see, we're going to talk to you about your left foot. And I'm like, okay, because I walk on the inside of my foot. So, like, the inside of my shoe hits the ground. From where he did the surgery before, it kind of moved after a couple years because I got 2 titanium screws in it. He goes, well, let's see, we fixed the back part. So the thing is, we're going to do surgery again because we need to fix the front part and get your foot back straight. I'm like, oh, woohoo, I go for my right foot and end up having surgery on my left foot. But I'm not planning that yet. So, just so you know, that's what's going on. Otherwise, I'm doing okay. I just don't sleep very much. So, that's it. But I'm in the car waiting on Robert because he's in his doctor's appointment. So I figure, well, while I'm waiting here, I might as well do some videos. So I brought some squares with me to tell you. So, we're going to do number 36 for the 100 Days of Halloween for Neva. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. I tell you about the movies, and I make a square. So at the end, I'm going to have 100 squares. And I have quite a few to catch up on because I think they're already at the end of their 30s. And I'm on 36 right now. So, let's see. And I got to catch up on my Thursdays. What you making Thursdays? But, you know, I'm always late. So. Okay, so here's my square. And it's got a silver bullet. I'm going to tell you about that movie. Okay, it's got one of the Coreys. Now, if you grew up in the 80s, you know. Okay, the 2 Coreys. 2 Coreys. And if you don't know them, I'm sorry. You missed out a great thing. But one Corey died. The other Corey is just very sad that he passed away. But he was the kid that was in Lost Boys. Corey, it's Corey Williams and Corey, what was the other name? I can't remember right now. But anyway, I don't have my book with me, so I forgot my book. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you about Silver Bullet. So Gary Busey's in there, and, you know, this is when he was at the top of his game doing movies. And he comes to visit his sister. His sister has to leave, so he gets to babysit the kids. Well, things are going on in his town that's really weird. And the one guy, the preacher guy, he's the preacher at the church, and he is doing can collecting and bottle collecting and stuff, and they're raising money for something for the church. Well, the Corey's sister, she is collecting all the cans, bottles, everything she can from everywhere. So she goes over to the church, and they had just found out that the owner of the bar is dead. Just dead. So, what do? You know, he had this bat above the bar that said, you know, like, this is what you get if you act up in here, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, so he's dead. And so the sister goes to the church. He's not in the church, so she goes around into the garage by the church to put the bottles and the cans in. And she, as she's doing it, she moves some of the cans, and the bat fell out. So she's like, hey, oh my God. So she goes back, tells her brother. Her brother's in a wheelchair, so his uncle, Gary Busey, upgrades the wheelchair and gives it a super fast mode where he can like race down the streets. So he's steaming along in this wheelchair, and now he knows the preacher knows that he knows that he's a bad guy. So he's chasing him. The kid gets caught in this little bridge, and the bridge had collapsed in the back part, so he couldn't get his wheelchair out of it. Well, now the preacher's coming for him, and he's coming for him, and he knows it, and he knows he's gonna get him. And he starts screaming. Well, luckily there was a guy out in his yard, and he said, is that you? And he goes, yeah, help me, Mr. whatever, I forgot his name. And he goes, help me. So then the preacher guy takes off, right? So they tell their uncle. Now their mom's leaving for the night. He's staying with them, and they had given him every piece of silver that they had. Her silver necklace, his silver ring, everything for them to melt down to make one silver bullet. So he takes it to the shop that makes bullets, and he goes over there, and the guy says, you sure that's what you want? He goes, yeah, it's for my niece and nephew. They really collect things, and they want a silver bullet. So can you melt this stuff down and make me one bullet? He goes, yeah, no problem. So he makes him the silver bullet. The mom leaves. Now Gary Busey's in the house. He's staying there. Okay, and it turns dark. And then they're, and then they see a shadow. The shadow's out of the window. On the windowsill. Now he's coming for him. Because, do you know why? The preacher is the werewolf. And how do you kill a werewolf? With a silver bullet. So, that is my video for today. I'm not going to tell you the ending, so if you watch it. It's a good thriller, spooky movie, but it's not overly crazy. So, if you don't like scary movies, but you still want to watch something, I recommend Silver Bullet. Because it's not too scary, but it's good. And you like it. I'm sure of it. And there's a lot of parts I missed, that I don't go through. I just go through, like, the basics and stuff and what it's about. Because some people, some people like vampires, some people like werewolves, some people like, crazy Chucky doll. Or that little guy that the necklace falls off of and is a little, she brought it back from Africa with her. And as long as the chain stays on, the power that's in this little guy, I put a picture of her. And I think it's in my community tab. But if the chain falls off, Trilogy of Terror, that's it. And there's 3 different movies in it. And I'll tell you about that one later. Okay, I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to film another one before he gets back in the car. Okay? So hugs and puppy kisses, purrs if you need them. And please remember, adopt, don't shop. There is just way too many babies that are out there that need a home. That's true. Okay, and I'll be back with my next video.